We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot. Ah!
You had accountability. Now, what I can...
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where, give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise back wolves.
Before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
You got me.
I got you.
You got me. You got me this evening.
Oh, for real? You here?
I'm here.
All right.
I'm here this evening.
Well,
I took a nap, but I woke up and I took a Magic Mind shot.
Okay. All right.
Let me rephrase. I took a Magic Mind and a shot. But, you know, I feel like that's testing out how good your product really is, because if I can take something that's supposed to get me focused with something that's going to counter that,
True.
And it still works, you might be on to something.
You might be.
It doesn't work with me, though. I need Adderall. I need ADHD medication, because whenever I take something like that, my mind just starts racing at 1,000 miles per hour, and I'm thinking about 11 things at once, and I got to try to reach in like that Wanted movie and grab that thing out of the piano or whatever that was, just hoping I get what I'm trying to focus on.
Man, hey, I get that. Anything in particular running through your mind, or any one of those 11 things?
The question is, what can I snatch?
Right. Nothing.
I bet that's why people's eyes go back and forth, because their minds racing and their pupils are just bouncing back and forth because they're thinking about.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I envision it in my mind too, like a highway, but the lanes running between each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Frogger, and I'm Frogger. Half the time I get smacked. Sometimes I come up with something.
Oh, man.
How was your week?
You know, it was all right. Busy. But good busy, so can't complain.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about work, so.
Yeah, no. It was like I said, busy but fine.
Yeah, there we go.
I had a fair amount of like stuff that I was just doing around the house. So, and it's funny, I almost sent this to the group thread, but I ended up just sending it to Gordon. So I got 2 new monitors.
You learning?
What's up?
I said, you learning?
Well, I knew he would appreciate it. You guys,
right? You learning what we ain't gonna respond to?
Oh no. But this was completely off topic. It was games that like he and I used to play growing up, and I got them off of Steam. And so I set up like where my workstation is for work. I got 2 new monitors, and they're big. They're like 27 or 30-inch monitors.
Right.
And I reset up, and I found my old computer joystick and was playing old Star Wars Flight Sim games.
Okay.
So, for those that are versed in the classics, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance and Star Wars Rebellion for any of the late 90s video or PC game fans.
Yeah, I remember watching you play it. I would have never wanted to take the sticks. I'll act like I'm on the ship in the background while you play in the game.
But I got Andrew kind of likes the flight sim one, so we'll see. I was trying to get him into it a little bit. But I also set up, so he has a new computer desk and a desktop in his room now.
The Oculus got some pretty accurate flight simulators on it.
Yeah,
I know it's not Star Wars.
My problem is that I like the tactile feel of a joystick.
Right. I
like
understand
the old
exactly
school, like this tall, and
right.
Do.
Right. Yeah, they need to bring them back.
It just hits different. Well, and all they do is like these racing games, and I think there's still a couple of like they have tried to do like Star Wars flight sim games on the latest console generation, but I don't know. They just hit different, and it's different playing with a controller than it is playing with like an old school computer joystick.
Right.
It's just different. So now
right,
I didn't go full. One of these times though, like, and I couldn't find one that was cheap. So I gotta keep an eye out for it. But I want one that has like the joystick and then the
clutch,
the thrust control.
Oh, okay. See, I was looking online the other day
for like a racing wheel.
Yeah, and the clutch. I want the
pedals.
3-pedal in the clutch.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't. Yeah.
The problem I have with that is like then you got to have the right chair.
You do.
Because then you need like you almost
not necessarily. It depends on how you set it up.
That's true.
See, me, I used to be ghetto, and I would get one of the dinner trays.
Yeah.
And I would set the steering wheel on top of the dinner tray and just have a folding chair and sit in that. And the pedals would be underneath the dinner tray. But the issue then becomes if I have a clutch, I have to have a separate lower stand.
Right.
Like almost like a stool. Like if I could just
you almost have to put it on like the arm of the couch at that point. Like I'm trying to think of other ways you can
I think I would get like a stool, or I could just get another chair
or a box
and put it on the chair
next
to me, and then it would be low at that point, and I could still.
Now, see what I would want out of that is like A-Reg has 2 of those like rocker on the floor video game chairs. I would want something like across the lap, and I'd just put the pedals on the floor, and then similarly, you could put the clutch on the floor then.
You could, huh?
You just need somewhere to put the wheel, like you'd need...
But I feel like that angle would feel funny on my feet pushing the pedals if I'm sitting on the floor.
Maybe.
But that's
the way it felt was like because I'd have to be.
You were sitting
back.
On the floor, and
right?
Your feet were damn near parallel.
Exactly.
Well, you a big motherfucker though. I ain't never had an issue.
That's true.
Sliding in and out of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very true. But yeah, so was doing that. I remember, like, back in the day, like, PC games being a bigger breadth than there was on console, and I wasn't seeing it. Like, nothing that really grabbed my attention, so that was a little disappointing. But so I'm going back.
See what you've been on, like, you was looking up games to download type shit.
Yeah. So I was on the Steam store.
Oh,
and so looking at stuff there.
Ironically, I was on the Oculus.
Yeah. Anything good? I haven't been on the Oculus in forever. And funny enough, I also didn't see and I added this as a topic so we can talk about it later, but I didn't see much like VR stuff at Summer Game Fest, which just happened this past 10 days.
You know what? Oculus is sneaky on some shit because Remember, like I said, I tried to load it up one day and I couldn't get into it, but I tried to load it from my Oculus. Nothing struck me to do it from my phone.
Yeah.
Like with the app. So
Where
I
the
loaded up
password
the app.
saved.
Listen, I don't even know. Like, I got back into the app and I loaded up the Oculus today and I almost panicked because it was like, enter the code. Like, go to the website, enter the code. So I go to the website to enter the code. That it ain't no code just up there. It's asking for the user and password. So I'm like, don't know that.
Yeah.
But luckily, I put the right email on file that I still have access to. So I got the code. But I couldn't play it long because I don't know if it's because I packed it up or let my nephew play it. As soon as I put it on, it felt like I was breaking out. Like,
yeah. Need to clean it, dude.
But it's that foam. I did buy
a. See, I've got the plastic covering.
Yeah, like I need that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it was dusty because I had it put up for a while in a little. There
was one new game that I don't think is out yet.
I ain't gonna blame my little nigga, you know.
Yeah. But it looked like
no, but what I was saying was they sneaky because they dropped a whole lot of new shit. You know, they got an Assassin's Creed on there now.
Do they?
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of new shit but my whole issue with that is, you know how the Oculus is, like, sometimes the moving games will make you sick.
Yeah.
Like you get like,
but I haven't had that issue. Like, I know people that have that issue use like the rails system where like you point in the direction and it'll jump you forward like 15 feet and then you can
see that's better. But yeah,
I like the free motion, man.
Certain ones it's like, oh, I'm getting a little dizzy in this bitch. Oh, they got this gym class game. That shit kind of hot. I think I might have to buy them.
I downloaded it, but I haven't played it.
For real?
That was one we downloaded a while back.
They got an old school 500 game on the football.
Okay.
Where you have one man throw the ball and everybody's in a pack and you got to jump to catch. That shit kind of lit for real.
That's cool. Until you jump and hit a doorway and knock yourself unconscious.
Like press a button to jump, or you can physically jump. And I had it on physically jump. And when I physically, my shit fucking up.
It did for like half a second, but then it came back.
Okay. But when you physically jump, it only registers how high you can jump.
Right.
You know, my old big ass ain't getting up like I used to, boy. Them button niggas was snatching me.
Those cheaters.
They was.
But
see, it's crazy though, because I was playing with a bunch of kids. I could hear them in the background.
Right.
And even though half the time I didn't even have to jump, it was just from playing football, knowing the position, and I could just put my hand up. And you know how it is with the game, right? You know how it is with the game. You can just press a button and your hand will grab something.
Right.
I'm Odell Beckham and niggas. Give me that. Nope, I got it. Little ass squeaky voices. Nice catch, dude. I said, oh shit, let me find out I found out something I might actually play.
So you said that was in the gym class one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it seemed cool because you know it got all the games, but the basketball, the demo just has you shoot free throws. And I seen a button in there that said calibrate shot. But when they just had you shoot the free throws, it was awful. Like, I couldn't make one. I was either shooting over the entire backboard or shooting right off the rim. Like, it doesn't register your trajectory from when you... It's the same with the football. Like, the football, you throw it further going like that than you do going like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can underhand it down the field further than you can.
It's trying to figure out it's where you press the button that is release, basically.
It's weird. That shit's weird. And it has all the shit. It makes you put your controllers on the ground and then at the sides with your arms stretched to check your height and do all that.
Yeah.
But it's still if you was gonna have me do all that, why are you so weird with it?
Right. They're still figuring it out, man. One of these days, Cliff. One of these days.
They are. I would hate if the good Lord don't come home and wipe us out of here and we last another 50 years. I would hate to see pro sports end up being motherfuckers that have no sort of athletic ability
and it's just VR.
Know the game in VR so well that it's we're headed down that path.
Right.
Pro football is going to turn into flag football. People are going to complain about that, which is going to change into some sort of weird VR football because we don't want to go back to that old caveman putting on pads football.
Right.
We can make drones for you, electronic robots that'll do what you do. And you, what is it? Game? What are you talking about all the time? Or movie?
Oh, Ready Player One.
Yeah, and you do that with it.
I mean,
we're on the way. I don't want to see it.
The problem with that, it's the same for all sports.
You seen that? I sent you that clip of the boys playing flag football and full pads.
You sent me that. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I got so angry. There was no reason for me to be angry.
Right.
But I got so angry that we're getting to that point as a society that it's and then you got the nerve to have a draft? You think these little breastfed bitch ass kids gonna be able to fight a war for you?
Y'all made a mistake.
Man, come on now. This shit is crazy. The full pads and you got a flag on. If I don't care if my child was 3'2" and 65 pounds, you're gonna be a lineman. You're going to be the only one out there receiving and giving contact.
Right.
That's it. I don't want you being none of this little bullshit here. And the little quarterback was the exact size I'm explaining.
Right.
With this big ass, had him by 1.5 feet out there. And he feels comfortable running around back there like that.
Right.
That shit is crazy. You're giving people false confidence because at the end of the day, life is going to hit you.
No doubt.
Don't matter if you a trust fund kid, whatever the case may be, life is going to hit you. And you too busy playing flag football with protective. Whoa there.
Oh, man.
I'm sure life was just as upset as I was.
It's so dumb.
Because they man, that's not even right. Because I'm going to hit this motherfucker so hard. I'm going to Ray Lewis this little bitch ass nigga. And he don't even know. And his parents aren't preparing him for this hit I'm about to give him. They got him playing flag and pads. Goodness gracious.
All right, circling back. VR. Did you play the Assassin's Creed game?
All
right.
I didn't get enough time. So basically what I did is I jumped back on and I fucked with some of the games I already had.
Yeah.
And then I started looking and that's when I was like, oh no.
It's burning or something.
Yeah, my head is burning. You might be able to see that shit. I don't think it's a little pink bumps, but yeah, whatever was on there, my skin don't like it. So I had to get a
cover or
leather one or whatever material that is.
No, so that was the one thing I heard about, and I can't even remember its name, but there is a VR game coming out that looks like Skyrim for the Quest. So,
for real?
Yeah, for the Oculus.
They got like the medieval fighting and shit, like where you got.
I've done a
swords
couple
and
of like the
shields,
sword. I've done a couple of the sword and shield games,
but they're
like
still kind of
they're still a little janky.
Minecrafty.
Yeah, there's one. It's Blades of something or Broken Blade. That's what it's called, and that's one A-Reg and I have played against each other. The mechanic is every time you hit the opponent. So it's PvP. It's player versus player.
Right.
And every time you hit the opponent, wherever your sword makes contact, your sword shatters at that point. And so the goal is to get it down to the hilt, and then you can attack the person themselves. But you can like swap weapons and shit.
That's interesting.
You can pull out shields. Like I like playing as the Viking that has the big old bastard sword. But then he also has a couple of like axes, like handheld or smaller axes.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't follow it first,
but it's interesting, but I think it has the best like actual sword play mechanics. Like I've also played Swords of Gargantuan, and that's like it's like a horde game where like enemies keep coming at you,
right?
But it's all sword fighting. But the graphics and the gameplay are a little on that one. Like it's fun, and A-Reg and I have gone, I don't know, like 16 levels deep on it or something. But it's not.
Oh, for real?
It gets a little like annoying because it's choppy.
Oh, okay. I did see they had an Arizona Sunshine too. We never played the first one,
yes,
did we?
we did. We did once.
We did?
Yeah.
Did we do the online or did we do the game?
We did the game. We were in story mode. We went like
I like the story mode. It's alright, well, at least the first one. But the online is where I like the most.
Yeah.
It's basically Call of Duty Zombies and, you know, bigger hordes as you go, or they bring out crazier.
Yeah.
That shit hot though.
My game, the only game that I was really into with that, and Jake and I used to play it all the time, was the Left 4 Dead games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like those ones.
That was like it's just different when you moving and running yourself. You know what I'm saying?
And there's something satisfying about playing like shooters in VR.
Right. And I don't get sick playing that game.
Yeah.
And that's a manual move around.
Manual movement.
I don't know. It's just certain games. I don't know what it is that I'm like, nah, this one's cool. That one I can't do.
It probably has to deal with like how far down the periphery it goes. Like how far back the image goes here. And then how quickly it renders when you turn. Like it's got to be something like
that. That could be. I'm following now. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. And I haven't played the ones that do make me sick long enough to see what the difference is between that one and this one.
No, I get it.
So maybe I need to tough it out.
Just try to get through one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Well, since we're on the games topic, there are a couple of big things over at Summer Game Fest.
Oh, you seen that?
So I was tracking it, and I've been
listening.
When was it? So it was over like the last 10 days.
Oh, okay.
And so
it wrapped up.
Yeah. So I listened to the What's Good Games podcast. There's these two girls that they do pretty good coverage of everything, and I like their opinions on stuff. And
I like girls that play games in general.
Yeah, I'm with you. So there were a couple of big ones, like the new Assassin's Creed, which is set in like feudal Japan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Definitely has my interest.
I'm not interested because I feel like you're not really biting, but it's going to be a similar game as that Shiroko or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Shirokin? No, what is it?
I can't think of the name. It's not that. I can't think of the name. But it's a samurai assassin, but he does the same things. Like he runs on top of buildings. You gotta be it's gonna be the same shit. And I feel like you just kind of bit that style.
Well, I get it. I think if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, it's cool to see them when they like go big differences in terms of setting, right?
Right.
Like
And back to
the old mechanic
format. Right.
Yeah, where it's more like rhythm combat.
Yeah, that's where they lost me when they started switching it up. Wasn't even the same game anymore, and then I was just done with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to get through Valhalla, and I think I made it
I didn't even
like
buy it.
60% of the way through. I think the last one that I finished was Odyssey, the one in ancient Rome, ancient Egypt.
Yeah, that shit weak as fuck too. And I ain't even finished that. I tried I was geeked with the African one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this weak ass.
Yeah, I think
Because that was the first one they did the new
style with.
I don't like that shit.
I think the last one that I enjoyed playing and beat was Black Flag.
I ain't beat that. I didn't enjoy it because of all of the
ships,
naval
combat,
warfare. Yeah, I wanted hand to hand.
Yeah.
Now it was still interesting, but you know how I go.
I get
like
it.
Just doing that. And it's ironic too because I've been on that Sea of Thieves heavy, but that is with multiple people.
Right.
And it's like it's a different style to it.
Yeah,
but
that one's almost
by
like
yourself, just sailing all day.
Yeah. I don't know.
Half of the gameplay was sailing.
Sea of Thieves, I tried it. I did go I re-downloaded it because I knew I had a free copy from somewhere. And I went through the tutorial, and it was just, I don't know, man. It felt too cartoony. I was struggling with it just because it just felt too
that
cartoony.
Shit hot once you, because it's a different, it's almost like Pixar-ish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like the shit you have to do, the dynamic of it is crazy. Like, especially when you get into battles. Me and Chris been on it all day. Getting into battles when you got a ship full of gold or treasure.
And someone's trying to gank your shit.
Man. And every time they hit your boat with a cannonball, it puts a hole in your boat and you gotta patch it and then bucket out the water that came in, and that's what.
Yeah.
Man, that shit
hot. I can see it. I mean, I get the appeal of it. I just it kind of missed me.
Because you play by yourself.
True. Probably true.
That's what it was.
But that's also what I like. I don't know. I used to. Jake and I used to play a lot. Like,
yeah, I'm only co-op.
We used to do Destiny. We used to do Left 4 Dead.
Only co-op or sports games. That's all that intrigues me. When I'll do
Fortnite with the kiddo, but
I don't like Fortnite.
Even he's like getting bored with Fortnite now, so it's like, all right.
I don't like that shit, man. The shooters that they make now is just weak.
Well, it's because they just repackage the same game over and over again.
They need to. Well, if they gonna do that, they need to bring Max Payne back out. That Max Payne online was the best shooter I've ever played my entire life.
I don't know.
Hands down, by far, it doesn't come close. And they had it set up like Call of Duty where you had different missions like domination, hold down this area, or you had there was a hit, like they would give you a hit where a certain player on a certain team was the target and your team had to protect the target.
Yeah.
Or there was how Call of Duty is, you got to plant a bomb in a certain area and make sure the bomb goes off. And the other team got to stop you. That shit was, man, that was the best shooter I've ever played. And they ain't made nothing like it since.
Yeah. No, I get that. Because honestly, like, that was the thing. So I downloaded, what is it? Immortals of Avernum. I downloaded.
I don't know what that is.
It's an RPG game, but it's like action adventure more so, but it's still magic and swords. What else did I get? I got the Rise of the Samurai, or Rise of Ronin. And
Okay,
then
yep.
what was the
See,
other
that
one?
one is kind of like the one that I'm Shariko or
Yeah,
something. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so, but I'm not positive. That was the one that came to mind for me was Rise of Ronin, but
It's like
but
a
the platformer aspects of it aren't good. Like,
Shariko. I don't know. I just see it. I'm just going off of what
yeah.
I think I see, but I don't know the name. I'm making shit up as I go. I just know it starts with the S. I believe it has the I, E, and a K and the O in it.
Let's see. See if I can find it. Ghost of Tsushima. Oh,
That could be it.
Sekiro.
Okay.
Sekiro. Sekiro.
Yep. See, I knew something. That's the samurai game, right?
Yep.
Yep. See, that's the one that they had set up like Assassin's Creed. Like you fought people head up, but the key was to, I guess, sneak around till you got to the boss and
Yeah.
take people out as you went. But
Well, and that was the
I
thing
feel
with
like
like
that's gonna be similar.
that was like the. I mean, Rise of Ronin's kind of the same way, but I was just like, it just. I don't know. The gameplay's just not there.
If I'm keeping it a buck, I just don't like. I'm not interested in all of the Asian culture type games. You know what
I
I
can see
mean?
that. I mean, I get it.
Like I feel like I don't know if they like I feel like they make them too like Taco Bell.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Like
making
it's
them too
almost
American
too
for me.
surface
Like,
level. Yeah,
yeah, I need somebody that's really gonna give us the ends of it.
I get that.
And I'm not interested in I don't even like I want authentic Mexican. You only get Taco Bell because all the authentic Mexican is closed.
Right, right. That's why they invented fourth meal.
Right, right. That's exactly right. That's the only way we can keep up is be open later when they're not available.
Right. Let's see. What else did they announce? Oh, the one that I found interesting, and just because of who it is, so Blumhouse, who
I've heard
makes
that
all like
name.
the low budget, or not low budget, but I mean, yeah, actually, it is low budget, but it doesn't. It has no knock on their quality. They do a bunch of horror films, and
Okay, yeah.
Blumhouse Studios is releasing like 6 games over the next year.
But I don't like I'm not see that's another one. Like
But
all the scary
I also don't know that they're inherently scary. Like the ones
was
that I heard about, while there might be a little bit of like suspense element to it, it didn't feel like
right.
it was just like jump scare after jump scare.
Well, see, I don't mind scary games, but I don't like how they're like you said, copying and pasting the Friday 13th on all of the
Yeah.
games. You have to escape an area before the killer kills you.
Well, and honestly, I think Alien Isolation was the first one to do that in the modern like game era.
Well, fuck them
Where the
because they
fucking
ruin gaming.
where the xenomorph is fucking hunting you down. That
Yeah,
one's
I
cool.
just
That one's cool because it actually picks up on your mic and shit if you let it. And
well, a lot of them, and a lot of the VR ones do now too.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's like I don't want to just escape. Like you can't create a storyline. Like
Right.
you're not creative enough to give me a storyline to this.
Well,
Every round is just a different area that I have to escape and find shit.
and
I don't
see,
want to play.
you want storytelling in video games.
I don't want to play.
Honestly, you know what games I liked a lot over the last decade and the studio closed were those Telltale games.
Give me some
Like The Walking Dead, where it's like the point and click event with Clementine.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
And they did a
weren't
bunch of
bad.
them. Like they did Walking Dead. They did like 6 Walking Dead.
But you get
games.
bored with them.
You can't replay them. I think if you
Yeah, you get
invest in
bored
the
with them.
storyline, you'll make it through it. Like
I would love if they started making some of the Sherlock Holmes on VR.
Okay.
I feel like that would translate very well because you yourself have to move and
Go
find
in and like
in,
find the clues
you
and
know,
stuff.
as a point, as opposed to like moving a player into an
Did
area
you?
and getting a cue that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Did you see or did you play? And it's you. There are probably other games like this, but I don't remember why. I ended up with a copy of Gotham Knights. Maybe it was on Game Pass or something. And it's like it's basically like after Batman dies, and it's Nightwing, it's Robin, it's
On the
Batgirl.
VR? Oh no, you
No,
talking
this is
about,
like
yeah,
PlayStation
I
or
know what you're
Xbox.
talking about.
But it has that element that you're talking about where you can like find clues, but then you have to piece them together in the right way in order to solve the puzzle. I'm with you. Like it would be
Like,
cool to see that in VR.
for sure, like there was the Da Vinci Code. That was still one of the best games to me that was ever made like that. That was on the PlayStation 2. I'm thinking about trying to find one just to get that
Yeah,
game. I actually got the game. I just don't have a PlayStation 2. I
right.
need to get a PlayStation 2 for it. They had this one on the Wii, and then there was one
Okay.
that was high. I was stuck on that for a
Now
while.
see, and that used to be the kind of stuff that like PC games were great at. Because
Right.
they'd have the graphics to go along with like the actual like point and click. But that can be
Right.
a little bit of a pain in the ass with a controller.
Yeah, with the Scooby Doo's and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all them.
What
Nah,
else?
the Wii kind of did set it up different. I can't remember what the dynamic was that was kind of different about it. It was kind of deep, but it was based off of that book,
Hmm.
you know, about the rich dude that invited everybody to the island, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
accusing one of them of he did something like crossing them in some way, and then everybody started dying off one by one, and they were blaming the dude.
So there was. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the podcast. There was a
It was a hot
game.
game though.
There was a game like that though that was announced that's coming up,
Ooh,
and it's cool in the sense that every time you play through one of like
it's
your
a
10 companions, it basically it randomizes
oh, I know what you're talking about.
who the killer is.
But the killer is one of the people in your party,
Yeah.
and they have to act as, yeah, I did see that. I can't remember what the name of it was.
So something like that feels different. That feels new.
Yeah, yeah, I could get with that. I can
Now,
definitely get with that.
in terms of games that, you're not going to get to play because you're on Gay Station. Fable,
Chucky.
the new Fable.
It is Gay Station.
You got the new
But I
Fable
ain't
coming
giving
out.
that
You got the new
devil Bill
Doom.
Gates no money.
You got the new Doom. Oh, you just give it all to Japan. I'm good with that.
I'm better with that. They want black folks to impregnate their
That's
kids.
true.
They more
You should go over
modern than
there.
America is.
Maybe you
The
should
fuck?
go over there and come back with another PlayStation.
Nah, if you send them over here, I wouldn't have a problem, but I ain't going over there.
So the new Fable looks good. I haven't played so I played Doom when it was a PC game.
And
way
I
back
like
in
how
the
you
way.
ignored the fact they more modern than America. The fuck?
Yeah, no doubt. But there's a new Doom game coming out, and then there's the Gears 6,
Doom,
which is
like Doom, the movie Doom?
yeah, Doom.
Oh, Doom.
Doom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to like them back in the day.
But again, those are like
It'll
they feel like they're
translate.
just games that are shoot 'em, shoot 'em, shoot 'em, done. Like
Yeah, I've never finished any of them because I always get bored.
now, the two games that I am excited about though. Dragon Age finally has part 4 coming out.
I remember
Which
that old one.
Yeah, and that's right because I think when the first 1 or 2 came out, I can't remember which one.
We were living
We
together.
were living together. So
Mhm.
Dragon Age Inquisition came out probably 6 or 7 years ago now. That one was solid. So there's a new one in that series. And then,
matter of fact, I remember that game was the one that I bought on my Xbox from watching you play it.
there you go.
Mm-hmm. I remember that night when the lightning struck and the plugs wasn't grounded and it blew out my Xbox. That's what I was playing.
Oh man.
I remember that night.
So yeah, Dragon Age Veilguard, and then there's a new Zelda game coming out, which is always a fun thing.
Give a fuck about.
I
never was into Zelda.
I get it.
And I've been playing games since the first Nintendo.
Right.
Zelda was never my thing. Put on Mario, put on something, but I didn't really like Zelda.
I get that. And there's a new Metroid and a new Mario Party announced. So.
I remember Metroid. Mario Party might be interesting. What's it coming out on?
I mean, Switch. It's all on Switch, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nintendo is not one to license their shit to other platforms.
That makes sense.
But honestly, like listening to the podcast, and I'm disappointed in myself for not, remembering some of the ones they talked about. But they talked about a fair number of like indie games too that sounded good. And then you have a new Star Wars game coming out, which I will play and probably be disappointed with.
Yeah, they fuck them games.
Although this one is no lightsabers, no nothing, and it's just bounty.
We need
hunters.
more independent. That's the same thing that happened to video games. Is the same thing that happened to the entertainment and the music industry and all of that, where you had the ones with the most money on top that took over and knocked everybody else off, and their non-creative asses,
especially coming out of
putting
COVID.
out the same things over and over again,
and especially coming after COVID. Like a lot of game studios had to fold during COVID. Like Telltale was basically a victim of that, although I think they may have closed before COVID, but same idea.
And you see why motherfuckers would riot and not close their stores and still go out, because it's like, you ain't about to use this as a means to kick everybody else off the market so you can take it over.
Right. No doubt.
Fuck, and you fucked yourself, right? Because the next pandemic that comes around is going to be more serious.
It's going to be the world
and people
killer,
aren't going to comply.
No.
I'm going to be one of them.
I get
Even
it,
with that information, I'm not complying. I'll do what I want. But I did that the first time, so it didn't matter.
That's why RFK wants to go after Trump about his pandemic response.
That fucking lizard people presidential election.
Did you
fucking hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
I know you heard me. I'm saying, do you hear me? The fuck? These weird ass.
Did you send me the TikTok about the Indonesian tribe that somebody showed them a picture of the Greys and they were like, "Oh no, that's Munkunkobo."
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. They learned the information. The people of the land been knew it.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? So I trust them long before I ever trust the government's word. And then you talking about Dyson spheres and shit. Bitch, I don't want to hear about no fucking Dyson sphere. You can't even remember how you got to the moon with your dumb asses. And you talking about Dyson spheres popping up where?
I mean, we go to Mars on a regular basis. We send ships to Mars on a regular basis. Now they're not sharing the alien technology they found there, but or on the dark side of the moon, depending on, what you want to believe.
I want to see Neil Armstrong's ass. I want to see a nigga walk out of the tube with a spacesuit on Mars. I don't want to see no goddamn robot you sent that tipped over after 3 days, and then you gonna feed me fake footage of what you think you saw.
They got it up right.
Man, right. Right. Like a fucking
it.
RC controller pressing up and to the left as many times as you can until that spin back.
Well, you know the truth about the moon landing, right? Is that we actually did go there, but they started the conspiracy that we didn't to keep everyone else away from it so that they could harvest the alien technology that they found there. It was all part of Tiamat one day.
Yeah, I hear you. And Buzz Aldrin was the proto. That's the nigga we need. We need him to go up there to keep secrets. This nigga writing books, having heart attacks, all kinds of shit. The fuck?
I do think it's cool that they think, well, and even when you listen to the academic response to it, they're like, we'll probably figure out that it's not really Dyson spheres and that these are just young stars that still have like proto matter around them.
Or they're angels.
Also possible.
Or they're angels. It's ironic that they said they found 7 of them.
Yeah.
7 angels, 7 horns.
But all
that Revelations scripture that say in my right hand are 7 angels, in my left hand are 7 candlesticks, and the 7 candlesticks represent the churches of the world. Moon turning red. Motherfuckers ain't never known no rust on the moon. The moon resting, you ain't got no water up there. You done told us ain't no water, ain't no life up there. Moon turning red.
Where did you see the moon turn red?
They found rust on the moon.
Oh, okay. But
they found rust on the moon.
We haven't been there in 30 years, but they found it.
Listen, look it up.
I will.
Look it up.
Those are the ones that interest me, so I will.
I'm just saying it don't seem too coincidental when you look at everything lining up.
Did you see the trailer for the Discovery Channel show that says they have proof that they have material from an alien craft?
Hell no. But, I mean, I feel like
for the views, man. All for the views.
Right. I feel like
I don't want to hear it, motherfucker. You were sending me some off the wall shit this week.
Yeah, I seen all kinds of shit that I see.
It was out there even for you a couple of times this week.
Yeah, all of them don't come with a disclaimer. You should know enough. You should know enough to know.
It was some wild stuff this week.
And some stuff I do put like crazy in the caption just so you know. I just think this is crazy.
Right.
But some of it, I expect you to use your own discernment.
I've told you who I'm listening to. Terrence Howard and Billy Carson.
Yeah. Listen, I don't listen
These
to
black
nobody.
men are my saviors.
I don't listen to no one, especially no one of flesh and blood. The fuck? I know what's in you like what's in me, motherfucker. Stop playing with me. And you got money and means to influence. I don't trust no one. Now, I might say, the nigga might be on to something.
He might be.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to just be like, right, correct. Especially in these times, we just talked about biblical prophecies. What that means is, here comes the Antichrist.
That's true.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not about to back nobody that claim he got the new way of doing things. And what niggas didn't quite seem to understand is when Terrence Crawford was in that Joe Rogan podcast and he asked him and he was telling everybody how people, I say that every time. Terrence Howard was on that Joe Rogan podcast and he was telling everybody how motherfuckers was playing him when he was down. And he said, I was going to use my knowledge to destroy the world. That's the nigga that slipped right there.
Right. He said the quiet part out loud.
You feel what I'm saying? You slipped out there. Nobody seems to be focused on that. but I don't want nobody that's smart enough to change the way we recognize things that would say something like that so blatant.
Yeah, true.
Because if you that smart, then you should be smart enough to know to keep that to your motherfucking self.
Right.
That shit weird.
Oh no, he's a weird dude. Don't get me wrong.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
But
He's
I also think that genius does come in weird. Like
I do as well. I just think it's very ironic, right? I understand like the deeper question of it all.
Yeah.
You have an actor that's that smart. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's almost like some, what do you call it, shit? Like where like you're a clown but you're not trying to be funny.
Right.
Like you got put in a position where you can't be yourself no matter how much you want to be because of what you appear as.
Right.
You're an actor, my G. So even if those are your words and you are truly the genius you are, we don't know if you're acting.
Right.
We don't know if that's somebody else's shit. You do this by trade. So what would make you think I would let you deceive me? Now, meanwhile, I say that nigga might be on to something. But I look at you like, show me yourself.
There are some things that I think he's on to something with. Like
I agree.
The drone technology stuff he talked about, yes. The flower of life, like to a certain extent. The periodic
I
table,
agree with that as well.
The periodic table stuff that he was talking about, like there are elements of it that make sense and that track, right. And then there are other pieces that you're just like, whoa.
I'm not a Terrence Howard detractor by no means. I'm just saying I keep my eye on you like I keep my eye on everybody else.
Well, and the flip side is
I kept my eye on my parents.
Right.
I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Well, and even thinking about like the drone stuff he built, like, yeah, that's the UFOs that we see that are ours. That is military technology that we haven't.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
And there is something to the frequencies and vibrations. I believe that. I just don't think that we've figured out how to harness it yet either. Because somebody would have figured it out and published something, and you wouldn't be able to keep that under wraps.
I don't think so, because I think then the conspiracies become true. I was just thinking about that today, right? Like, if people could harness energy, like I know they can harness energy, you know what I'm saying? Like electricity or shit that comes from oil and all that. But if they could harness energy and air, like Nikola Tesla and all them were onto something where they could harness the electricity that flows around us.
Yeah.
But if you could differentiate the energy of electricity and a soul, that changes things, right? Because then you could confuse the two to the point that the conspiracy theorists say, well, the Anunnaki just want to capture souls so you'll be a forever worker. And you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But you can't capture
Which sounds
energy.
more like Scientology than it does the Anunnaki myths, but I hear you.
Well,
but I think that there's enough crossover there. I get it.
Tomato, potato, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My whole thing about that is if you could differentiate the energy of a soul and capture that, I don't even know. Like, to me, like it's almost like unfathomable, right? But you hear people saying that this is just the energy source and we just die and recycle. You know what I'm saying? Back to the same energy source. So the question then becomes, what energy elevates? What seeps through the cracks?
Yeah.
And I don't think that human people, although they're playing God as much as possible, have even come close to getting a net that can harness that energy.
No,
You know what
not
I'm
yet.
saying?
No. I mean,
Now, yes.
we can't even solve worldly problems right now. So
Well, you could, but they don't want to.
that's true. That's fair. I did go on a Zillow search this past week for land.
For interest or
For land
okay.
in southwestern Ohio.
Okay.
And I actually found,
That's damn near Alabama.
I want to say it was like 10 or 11 acres for 120, which wasn't bad. I want to stack up a little bit more before I make a play like that.
10,
but
they want 10 to an acre.
yeah, it's not bad.
You want 10 to 10.3 an acre? It's not really bad considering the current market, but
Right.
that's like
That's a house payment without the house. But I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm checking it every now and then, just seeing what's out there. Because if I hadn't had the getting getting terminated aspect last year, I would have the money to do this now.
well, the question then becomes, what do you plan on doing with it? And who you plan on including?
Right.
Because
but honestly,
the inclusive party should be.
I kind of just want the land first, and then we can go from there.
I get it.
Like, even the video you sent me, it was like, get the land first, and then if you want to subdivide within that land, you can do that.
No, that's definitely the case.
And then
but the only thing that
every person is like, you can coordinate the build so that, water, electricity, utilities get to where they need to go if you need that stuff.
Right.
But everybody basically builds their own house.
No, that makes sense. But the issue then becomes, who's gonna build their house on your land,
right?
Unless they have absolute trust in you.
But the flip side of that is fine. I will sell you the parcel as part of that deal.
There you go. It would have to be something, because
that's the thing. Like, you have a 10-acre piece of land. I mean, shit. Most places, an acre will support a family.
And don't get me wrong. When I was explaining that, I wasn't necessarily including myself, because I do trust you.
I get what you mean.
But you wouldn't be able to fill up enough room for what you want without that added incentive, or they'd be like, yeah.
No doubt. No, I get that completely. I want everybody to have their own house, and then I want a community house. I want the long house from Viking times. The community house.
And it gotta be built like that too.
A big dining hall. It'll have like almost like a movie theater, entertainment center in it. Like,
we gotta even put a fake fire pit in the middle by the table, like the Vikings had. You already know I'm coming. Stop playing with me.
And then it's what skills do you bring to the community? Are you a chef? Are you an electrician? Are you a plumber? Are you a carpenter? Are you a nurse? Are you an educator?
Are you a tactician?
Are you security? Are you a farmer? Although I'm starting to get this green thumb, man. My cucumber plants are looking good. My lettuce is looking good. My peppers, not as much, but I also planted them a little too late.
You said that the poll didn't do too much.
No, a couple of the plants it did. So It didn't really help the peppers, but it looked like it helped. Like, you can actually see it. The lettuce that I actually planted versus the core that I buried. The one that is like most kind of immersed in the copper pole
Right.
is the biggest one. And the cucumber plants,
Did
the
you
ones that are
run
along the
wire
edge,
as well, or just the
I
pole?
just did the pole.
Okay, so that might be why as well.
Yeah. So it's around near the pole is doing
Mm-hmm.
well.
I guess that's why you run the wire, because
You got to get
the
the
wire
rest of it.
contains the the whatever energies that's being produced. I was about to order it, I ain't order it yet, but the copper water bottle.
Okay.
And they say that the copper just it changes the water to how it should be type shit. To where when you drink it, it actually gives you the benefits of what we should have had with our water.
Yeah, where it basically like pulls out the chemicals and shit.
I don't know necessarily that it pulls out, but
or balances it.
The copper, I don't know how they described it. I don't want to just be lying on them, but the copper changes the water to where, and they even say you should pour your water in it and like let it sit in the refrigerator for like 30 minutes before you drink it. So,
which is interesting because copper will rust. Like it turns green when it rusts.
Well, I don't know. They said that you can't wash it either. You don't wash it like you wash a cup. You got to use, I think they said, salt and not vinegar. They said a couple different ways you could do it. I think lime juice and salt or something like that.
CLR.
Yeah, and be drinking the same shit they put in the water we already got. Yeah, we already got them chemicals in the water. That's why I'm getting the.
I see a couple messages in the chat from the REITs, but I don't know when they were dropped. So, Mom, I love you.
My REITs talking.
I love you,
but I don't know. What she talking regardless? Shout her out. What she said?
She got Antichrist Trump, ? And then I'm your mom. And I'm like, I don't know what those were in reference to.
I think she was listening to what I was saying.
It's quite possible.
I don't know. But
she might claim you as her child.
Antichrist, you better, my REITs. I need all the guidance available, baby. You know, my mama ain't here to keep me under wraps no more.
In line. Oh, and then she chimed in with Vulcan blood was copper based. That's why they bleed green.
Vulcan? Who's the Vulcan? What's the Vulcan? The Vikings?
Star Trek. Vulcan. Spock.
Oh.
You green-blooded son of a bitch.
They said that we don't bleed blue anymore.
Yeah. They're right.
Well, not bleed blue, but you know what I mean. But right. they're saying that that's not true at all.
That the unoxygenated blood.
That the blood is not blue prior to it hitting the air anymore.
It's interesting.
So why are your veins blue?
Right.
When I saw that, I said, "Tell that to all the varicose."
Right.
The fuck? Because we see it blue.
Is it just the vein tissue that's blue? Like
no, because if the vein tissue was blue and the blood was red, it would show purple. There's no way that the blood can't be blue in your veins. My black ass can see blue under my skin. So you mean to tell me that the blue around my vein is that blue that it shows through brown, but the blood is red?
That's what they tell you now.
See, I just don't. I think that something's really going on. Like, honestly, though, I honestly think whether it's CERN, the Hadron Collider shit, I don't know what it is, but something has. I told you last episode or the episode before last. 8 hours ain't 8 hours no more. 24 ain't 24. But for some reason, the 8 that you go to work is the longest fucking time of your entire life.
I mean, would that surprise you, though? Would that surprise you that, like, corporate takeover of galactic, or not galactic, but of GMT satellites that track time, like...
They probably turned the little microwave knob to like 10 hours. They were like 10 hours for their work shift, just 9 to 5 or whatever it is.
Well,
but 10 hours.
Did you see Billy Carson's explanation
turned it down. Look, then they turned it down on the weekend. They said 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the weekend.
Oh, the Reeds with I love Cliff.
I know you do. I know you do. And I love you too.
But did you see Billy Carson's explanation of this?
And it sounded like you talked in fast forward, so now I really gotta cut you.
Our circadian rhythm, the circadian rhythm that we have as human beings, is actually tuned to 23.1 hours, which is the same as what? It's the same as the rotation on Mars.
The Earth.
Mars. M-A-R-S. Mars, bitches.
Mars, bitches. Damn, is that right? Well, you know they said that. And now they're finding water again.
On Mars, yep.
And what would do that? Yeah.
Well, no, there was always water there. We just acted like we didn't find it. If you blew the whole shit to hell,
of course, the rubble, the ash, the debris would all fall down and cover everything if it was that big of a war.
Well, and if you lost your atmosphere because of it.
All of it's coming to light.
I also like the theory that the natural expansion of planets from stars, that stars give birth to planets.
Right.
And that planets eventually hit the Goldilocks zone, and this is not, like, unique in the universe, that it happens basically around every star.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't... I don't know if
it
you
works
can
better with
that.
binary... It doesn't work as well with trinary star systems. It works okay with binary and with single star systems.
I don't think you can attribute that to finding 7...
Dyson spheres?
Inside of your solar system. Not even inside of your solar system, but well inside. They said within 5,000 light years away.
Yeah.
And they said the solar system is 180 million light years.
Well, it's also saying that we're absorbing another solar system as we speak.
Well, they also, but you know, before my grandfather died, we watched the and it might be Nibiru. You never know. But we watched the documentary on the Discovery Channel that said, currently as we speak, we are merging with a star system that will pass through us without hitting anything in ours.
Without necessarily being pulled into our orbit. But what's more believable on that point is it's already part of, we're actually a binary star system.
That makes sense.
And then you got Ceres sitting out there in the asteroid belt that has water.
How much would that change physically? Because there has been a lot of weird shit that's been shown, discovered, whatever. I don't even know what to say since. Since when? What would you say? Since when?
I think in the last, 50 years.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, the weird shit that we've seen, I don't think it spans back beyond January 1st of 2024.
No.
No, all the weird, all the white deer, the white squirrels, the dude picked up a white squirrel the other day and he said, "This is an albino." No, it was a raccoon. He said, "This isn't an albino raccoon." You know, albino shit has red eyes.
It didn't have the red eyes.
Even albino people have the gray eyes.
Right.
So how is everything turning white?
I mean, that could also be natural adaptation from the fact that we're killing the planet.
But I feel like, how could it have increased so soon?
It could just be that we're recognizing it now. Or they're doing experiments and shit. I don't know.
You seen the pink dolphin that everybody posting that was off the coast of North Carolina?
No, I didn't see that.
A pink... Nobody's seeing anything like this before.
All right.
Look that up. I seen that all around the internet today.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit's not.
I don't know,
want to
man.
say normal.
That feels like a dolphin mated with a beluga whale.
But isn't beluga whales white?
Maybe he's just sunburned, man.
That could be the case. That could be a white ass dolphin that was just like shit. He seemed to be beaching himself enough.
Maybe he was dying. I don't know.
Nah, it's different. It's different. Everything is different.
Oh, it says Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin. So he just lost.
It don't matter if this motherfucker lost, found, or otherwise. When have you ever seen a pink dolphin? You can put a name on whatever you want to put a name on, but show me another one, motherfucker. Where's the second pink dolphin? Where's the second
over in Indonesia?
Listen, them bitches ain't pearls. Motherfuckers ain't pulling them out the water like we got pink dolphin meat for sale. Nah.
Or the whole we found another ocean thing is real.
You know what?
Maybe
I think
he's
you're
coming
right.
out of the other ocean.
I think you're exactly right. I think that what's happening is a merging of two solar systems.
Yeah.
But beyond the solar system itself, I think it's a merging of energies that are causing changes in what we know as our normal world. Which is why people are saying we changing over to 5D and all that. You know what I'm saying? You heard all that. All the spiritual people saying the others will get left behind, but the ones that feel it, they'll switch over to 5D.
Basically, a fifth
and don't
dimension.
Get me wrong, I've felt changes. I understand what you're saying. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is 5D in the sense that you're talking, as much as two energies converging. Making something completely different than what we know.
It's possible. I mean, if nothing else, you would think that the background radiation here would be different than the background radiation of what's passing through. The stars would have different radioactive properties.
But I also look at it, well, at least my mind does, off that magic mind, I look at it as a magnet.
Yeah.
I feel like you would only be able to attract what's closest to you as well.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a negative and a positive hit each other and created pink dolphins.
Right.
I feel like it's a merging of two energies that's like, that dolphin might have been gray prior. Those raccoons might have been gray or whatever their regular color is. Now they turn in white and they turn in pink because the energies are merging and it's a different.
But that's also where I could go. This could be a hereditary, not a hereditary, but an evolutionary trait that white is more reflective of the sun and the heat. And it's the increase in the world temperature that's causing all this. I say that as a very pale person, and whose child apparently got sun blisters on Monday.
But if that was the case, why would motherfuckers be putting up artificial suns and satellites that can shine? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that, based on what you just said, the first thing that popped in my mind, because I'm still Frogger.
Right.
Still cars passing. But the first word that popped in my mind, or not word, but the meek shall inherit the earth.
Mother
if it's
Nature
too hot for everyone,
right?
The one people that's gonna last the longest is the darkest. The ones with enough melanin to withstand it. And I know I don't have enough. I was sunburning tar and driveways. I know I don't have enough. I may last longer, but I'm on my way out with y'all motherfuckers. Please believe.
These light-skinned motherfuckers
You hear me?
never come back in style.
I'm a motherfucking I'm a victim. I'm a victim. My ancestors must have been fucked on longer than the rest of them. And now I'm burning with y'all. I can't see, that's not even right. We didn't get reparations.
Oh man.
I think I might have succeeded in saying the harsher version of the R word. Damn. I was trying to censor it, but my ignorant ass still said something that was just as harsh. Damn. History.
Speaking of history, introduce the little man to Eminem with that Houdini song. So we've been going through all the kid-sounding classics with, you know, My Name Is and Real Slim Shady and Without Me. And I tried to get him to listen to... Oh,
no, there's no way you can listen to that on Kids Bop. You should be... I was about to say something
I was high when I wrote this, so son.
I was about to say something very wrong. You should be stoned, though.
Without me is an all right.
You should be stoned, though. Not to death, but somebody should throw a couple stones. You gonna put a Kids Bop Eminem song? You tortured that. You tortured that child. No, you go raw or you don't go at all.
And Dr. Dre said, "Nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement." Feminist women love Eminem.
Dr. Dre's not alive, then he's locked in my basement.
Oh.
Listen, this soft ass world we live in, I just seen a post, and it was a dude that put it out. I don't like this new era of men's emotions. I do think that men have emotions, and I do think that men's emotions should be recognized, but we're not about to go into this overcorrection of men recognizing emotions.
Nope.
Because I think I might be more inclined to put hands on somebody like that than somebody who's being rude or aggressive to me.
Yeah.
I seen a post. This dude said, "Did you know that somebody ignoring you has the same effects in your brain as somebody hitting you?" And he said it like that. The acting, you see, that was very Terrence Howard to me. I wanted to stomp on my phone and flip my desk when I saw that. I had to put a post up, and then I recognized hit the showers is your shit. And I just said, I am so sick of how soft we are getting by the minute. Someone ignoring you in your brain is the equivalent as someone hitting you. Now, it might be true, right? But you picked the wrong way of
expressing that.
You hear what I'm saying? Because there is no way. It's not about you, bitch. We're a collective. We're a part of what's moving forward as a society. So if someone's ignoring you, they're busy. Leave them alone.
Right.
Doesn't mean they don't see you. They just don't hear you.
You know,
because this world is fast. We have to focus on what we focus on.
And that goes back to a line that I appreciate. You are not a main character in anyone else's story.
Bang.
You are a main character in
I've
your
never heard
story,
that before.
But you are not a main character in anybody else's story.
Perfect way to put it. That was the perfect... Who said that? Do you know?
I have no idea. but it's one of those like, it's the that person has main character energy. No, guess what? Nobody has main character energy. You are not the main character in anybody else.
No, you can have main character energy.
You can, but what I'm saying is that you are not the main character in the story of those around you.
Period. Now you can have main character energy, but you have to have the mental competence to know that this doesn't involve me. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to assist in.
No doubt.
You can bring smiles and, like Muhammad Ali said, it don't cost nothing to be pleasant.
Right.
Costs nothing at all to be pleasant. And if you do, that spreads to somebody else.
Your best bet is you could be a companion character. You could be I don't know.
I'm going to get my TV time. One way or another.
You could be the NBC that they like to go visit.
That's what's so interesting about this podcast is that I enjoy talking shit, right? But I don't want no fucking TV time.
Right.
I don't want nobody really, you know what I'm saying? Listen to me for entertainment. This is for entertainment
purposes only.
Take out of this what you take out of this. But yeah, I couldn't see myself being no big rich motherfucker.
Right.
I couldn't see myself being a Charlemagne the guy. Nah, I couldn't.
So, Mom, I love you, and I could have made that guess. She says, you're a main character in my story. Actually, she said, in me's story. And then she was like, one too many margaritas. And the Rita's having margaritas. That's one too many margaritas.
He ain't even no main character no more. That nigga old as shit. He a co-star. That nigga show up every now and again, and everybody see the Cross episode that takes place in Seattle. But I wouldn't want to be, if everything was the way it was, I wouldn't want you to think you were in my story. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Like, I love my mom to death, and losing her is tough, but I don't want you around me every day. Like, having her back, I don't want you around me every day.
Right.
I would like to be around you more, knowing what I know now. But no.
No.
This is still a co-star star situation.
What?
This isn't Everybody Loves Raymond, where I walk into the living room and you sitting on the chair every episode. That's not, nah.
Oh man. Wait.
Wait, what?
Oh no! Oh no!
Find the hardest game in the App Store and beat.
Oh no! Oh no!
That is my favorite current video overlay meme. Is the ape going?
That reminds me of the dude.
No.
I don't even know what to call him. But the dude that said, ooh, brother. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I don't want to say Arabic or Muslim, or I don't know what he is, but he said, ooh, brother. Ooh. I love that. Every time I see that, I love that.
Man. Yeah.
So what you think of these Dyson spheres? These Dyson Fury spheres?
My gut is we're going to find out they're not. However, even if we found out they were real, they're far enough away that it doesn't matter. And the question is, are they still actively harnessing energy?
It depends on what they are.
There is and I find it interesting. So there is a Star Trek episode, actually the one where they bring Scotty to the next generation.
Who's Scotty Pippen?
No, Montgomery Scott. He was from the original series.
Not this
The
dude
Scottish
with
guy.
the
No,
pointy.
that's Spock. That's Spock.
That's Spock.
Scotty was the engineer. But in that
Not
episode,
the-
they find
oh,
the
okay.
Dyson sphere, and
That's why they made the. That's why they made the dude from that Seth Farland one. Red haired with the beard.
Yep.
Based off that.
Yep.
I'm connecting. I still can't see his face, but I'm connecting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyways, like the point there being that it's interesting. So they found 7 of them within relative close proximity to each other, which would make
within 5,000 light years.
Which makes sense in terms of you would expect them to be close to one another. Like if you could do it for one star, you would do it for multiple stars in that area.
Ooh. Well,
it probably would mean that you've colonized those solar systems that are around you at that point.
So, okay. So this is now here's where the detractor in me comes in. Not necessarily to what you're saying, but to my own theory. Now, we know that, like you said, that's how new stars develop. What if that is the passing of solar systems between each other? And they said, yeah, the planets won't hit, but we never really calculated the stars.
No, that's fair.
And the stars are hitting, becoming what? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, so
I still think motherfuckers need to get close to God. Shit. That is a wild statement to make with all them cuss words. But I'm telling you, something is. I seen the post the other day on
they
Instagram.
all say within 1,000 light years of Earth.
1,000? Them is angels. Them is angels. They don't just. You ain't going to just see something pop up like that close. They would have seen that coming. You feel what I'm saying? You got all these.
Yeah, but it comes back to a light year is the distance that needs to be traveled in a year by the speed of light. So that's still very, very far away. But
wait, though. They was just putting out images of the Earth, the new Earth that they found. Not the one that we've talked about. But that was like
Alpha Centauri is the one we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, but this is a different one that they discovered, and this one isn't as far.
But the whole point is, even if you capture the light from it now, depending on how far away it is,
for you
it would have already had to have reflected off of it. Like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Almost like a flashlight in the dark. Like, yeah, I caught this, but I didn't move enough to see all of that. But for you to be going, that still tracks.
But that's still. I mean, it's close in the galactic sense, but
that still tracks. It just proves the definitive. Who said that? I can't remember the quote, but the definitive is that we don't know as much as we think we know.
Well, and that comes back to what you and I have talked about on this show multiple times, the arrogance of humanity.
Right. The only thing we know for sure
is that we don't know shit.
We don't Exactly. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to push religion on nobody. But I do find it ironic. I've been seeing Instagram posts where it's people saying, isn't it weird, or does anybody find it weird that they've been getting like callings or pullings towards like God or religion or spirituality lately? That's in the Bible as well. There will be one last call before, shit starts going.
I mean, it's certainly possible.
I'm just saying, for all those who are edging on the fence, think about it. Look into it. Do your research. You know what I'm saying?
No
Don't
doubt.
just listen to motherfuckers. Because if we circling all the way back, and the best way to trap a soul would not be to learn the energy of the soul to harness it. It would be to keep that soul with you.
Yeah.
And we know the devils of the world, if all of this is true, we know where you're going.
Yeah.
So the best bet is to pull as many of you down with me so I can create an army when I return.
I mean, it's a fair comment, and
You know what I'm saying?
you know, if you believe that this could be, whether that's completely spiritual or Nibiru coming back into orbit, or the Anunnaki returning, or God, or Jesus, like, find your way to get right with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, at least know yourself.
I kind of go back to the Bashar videos around. Your only role as being a sentient creature is to be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Right. And I think if
Whatever
you
that
do
entails.
that, you have, but if religion is true, that's not enough.
And I think that that's fair. It depends on what religion.
But not
too.
religion. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. That was a ill choice of words. But it does.
But
fall under.
It falls under that category, right?
Yeah, like, it does fall under.
It depends on the religion. If you believe some of the Eastern religions, like continuing to be the best version of yourself is your only mission.
Right.
You believe some of the Western religions, you got to do a little more.
Got to do a little more. For a little less. I don't know what kind of virgins is waiting up there for me after the. No, I'm just playing. But
what's the Lewis Black line? I've never met more devoted people. Believe there are 72 virgins waiting for them in heaven. When I haven't met one on earth.
You never know. Listen.
Which, all right, so
God may have that great reset button. It's not even great. He might have that he has that reset button. You hear what I'm saying?
Which
you might see something that's like, ooh, that's down bad, and I could never. And God hit the reset button. You'd be like, that's exactly what I needed, Lord. You know me. You know my world.
And I'm disappointed in myself for not doing a 60-second review on this. But Inside Out 2, solid.
Was it? I never seen the first one.
You don't necessarily need to, but
this one is that's not how I get down.
This one is, they tackle a lot of stuff, and there are some like poignant comments that get made kind of throughout the movie, and it's, you know, the introduction, the whole story is Riley, who is the main character that the emotions live inside of, is hitting the age of puberty, and like new emotions come to the front, and it focuses heavily on anxiety, which I think is good from the standpoint of you have to understand what anxiety is in order to deal with it.
All right.
But it's anxiety, it's embarrassment, it's ennui, the boredom, as the character says. But it's a good movie. Would highly recommend. I think it's good for kids. It's good for adults. I think Pixar has gotten to the point where they have mastered the whole, we can make a quote-unquote kids movie that has good messages and humor for adults. So,
yeah, they always been decent at that.
Yeah. All right, man. What else you got? Anything?
What if the Antichrist is a corporation and not a person?
Oh, it already is. It is BlackRock and Vanguard.
I just had to throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? But
now, I saw rumors at one
point. But you know what? I'm sorry. I don't
Rocket,
mean to cut you off. Keep that on your mind. The Antichrist would be a corporation before it would be a person.
Right.
It would be, because if you have that much influence and power, it's backed by something before we get to come out and put a name on it. I told my grandma, I told me, Ma, I said, what if Elon Musk is the Antichrist? She said, ain't that handsome. I said, damn. Because you know they did say he would be handsome, he would have the best voice, he would, be everything that I said, that's funny. Ain't that handsome. Ain't that handsome. He's definitely weird too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm waiting on somebody to snatch up. I can't even say that. For entertainment purposes only, if somebody was to snatch off Donald Trump or Joe Biden's wig, you would see scales under it.
Either one.
I'm telling you that. I'm willing to bet my life savings on it. My little $250. Put it up right now. Lizard people.
Lizard people.
And I mean, I guess, like you said, the only one you can trust is Robert Kennedy Jr., because we've seen his family's blood.
Right. All over the place. That's
you hear what
up.
I'm saying?
That's fucked up.
I mean, a little bit, but I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. And we know they ain't got to him yet. Otherwise, Secret Service would have been on his ass.
Well,
but they denied him all that.
They denied him Secret Service, and they've been denying getting him into the presidential debates,
that despite the fact. Mean something.
Despite the fact that he has right now, it's something like 15-20% of the vote, depending on which poll you look at.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it. You know what I'm saying? I said I wasn't going to vote for Biden. I didn't say I was going to vote for Trump.
Right.
But I do think that you pulled me a bit, you know what I'm saying? Like from not voting at all. I might go out there and throw a Kennedy out. I might just want to say I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many times can you say I voted for a Kennedy?
Right.
And every time a Kennedy got in, a Kennedy got out.
Well, and I mean, on top of that,
so
like,
that means
how many times have you really wanted to vote third party and didn't? Like, that's the other side of it.
I voted for what's that one nigga's name? Greg something. The nigga that came to the what's the name? High.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I voted for him.
Green Party.
Yeah, because I didn't like. Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting, exactly to your point, that both sides are actively trying to keep him out of the debate. That to me says he's viable.
Or he's a red-blooded American.
Right.
That's interesting, right?
That's why that saying came about.
Interesting. Because they could have said skin color. They could have used anything that they wanted. They said a red-blooded American. Meaning you can be an American and not be red-blooded. Regardless of what you believed. They seen enough black blood to know it's red. Red-blooded American. Facts. That's wild. That's wild to me.
It is wild. All right, man. What else you got? Anything?
Magic Mind. That's what I got. We out.
So is Magic Mind like the microdose mushrooms? Is that what that is? What is it?
This one got nothing crazy in it.
Oh, okay. It's just supplements.
The shit that Joe Rogan and them be talking about.
All right.
Yeah, it does. They say like you can take it with your coffee in the morning or by itself. When I first took it, I felt some.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call it energy, but it was something that would probably get me up out the bed.
I hear that. I mean, I've been
Like,
doing the Lions
I don't
Mane.
know if I feel right. I need to get up.
I've been doing the Lions Mane stuff for a little while, and I don't
got
know
some
that
in
it's.
there too. I ain't took that yet, but yeah, that's one of the main ingredients. Yeah, lion's mane is the first thing on
Makes sense.
Our magic formula.
Okay. Well, good stuff.
No, it kept me going. It really just got me my mind racing, but
hey, if it makes you feel like you're firing on all cylinders, you know.
I don't know if I would say that.
No.
I'm gonna try it when I go to work.
Yeah.
That's the real,
real test.
I don't want to focus on that. So let's see how focused I am. And I can't drink when I do that. So
right.
That's gonna be a real test of how good it is.
I mean, if that's the one difference between this week and last week, take it every time.
I mean, it seemed like it's cool, but it's expensive.
Gotcha.
Like I showed you, this is the shot.
Yeah.
5 for $30. So if you really want it like that, you're gonna have to buy a few packs. And it says it on the bottle. The more you take it, the more effects you'll receive. And I understand that from like lion's mane and all that, but
so from that, go ahead and go find the Foolproof Entertainment Patreon out there. Get Cliff his magic mind.
Listen, I'm saying it's something. Otherwise, I'll be half asleep on this bitch because I'm gonna be drinking.
All right, man. You got anything to take us out?
Love everybody. And I don't need a sponsor, but I'll take one.
There you go.
I'm a first-time user, first-time fan.
All right. Do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell them to troll. And Magic Mind. We always looking for sponsors. Peace out, fools.
Even you can shot a little nigga something. You know what I'm saying?